Heat signature. Or 2, either one.
On patrol, searching for a deadly hidden enemy, these US troops in Baghdad have one of the most dangerous jobs, specifically looking for the improvised bombs that are now the biggest killer of American forces in Iraq. They crawl along, scanning the roadside for anything that strikes them as unusual. Any ordinary item could disguise an improvised explosive device known as an IED. Well, we're now on a stretch of road that they're much more concerned about. You can feel the tension rising in the vehicle, because on this stretch alone, it's just a couple of kilometres, they've actually lost 4 vehicles in the space of a month, hit by improvised devices hidden by the side of the road. And however carefully they look, they can't examine everything, and there's plenty of rubbish lying around. Anything could be a hidden device. And of course, the people who are planting them have the upper hand. They have the element of surprise.
Our best defense is to find them first, because any countermeasures we take, the opposition, they just use something bigger. So the best thing to do is just not put ourselves in harm's way.
Yeah, it's that mound of dirt right to the right of that chem line. It looks like a wire or something coming out of the top of it.
An anxious moment as they go to investigate something that's caught their eye. They use an extendable claw to take a closer look, knowing that in itself could trigger an explosion. In the last 6 months, 4 of their colleagues in the battalion have been killed. They're all too aware of the risks. When they do get hit, the effects, even on heavily armoured vehicles, can be devastating. The explosively formed projectile is one of the most lethal IEDs. It can be triggered in various ways, but most commonly now, an infrared beam is set up. As the vehicle crosses it, the device is detonated. The copper plate covering the front becomes a molten projectile that can travel at 2.5 kilometres per second. Well, all of these vehicles have a range of protective measures, most of which we can't talk about for security reasons. But they all have this V-shaped hull, which means that if they pass over a buried bomb, the blast will deflect outwards. They also have cages. These will stop a rocket-propelled grenade. But in the case of an EFP, that's the most dangerous thing. It will go straight through this, but also straight through the armour. Night or day, the job of the route clearance team goes on. We went back out with them in the dark. It's obviously harder to spot the lethal devices, but they do what they can with spotlights and infrared cameras.
It's on the other side of the road over there. Do you see what we're looking at?
Here they see a suspicious-looking box. Another vehicle is sent in. They use a high-powered blower to clear the debris around it. This time, it turns out to be harmless.
It's been in there for a while. I think it's cool. I'm calling it clear.
But it's a nerve-wracking moment.
It's scary. You know, we're getting ready to go out and look for things that blow up. And that's, one of the more dangerous jobs in the world.
One latest trend is for these concrete barriers that have been put up in many areas as a security measure to be used to hide EFPs. They can be so powerful that they rip through the concrete first, then the vehicles. The chief instructor for the battalion showed me how they're often hidden in foam, painted to look like a concrete block. Now they're finding versions where several EFPs are linked together to cause even more carnage.
Multiple blasts. It is very difficult to find these sometimes. The enemy that's emplacing these for us is very good at what they do.
For these men, making the roads safer for others may often feel like an impossible mission, but they do manage to clear 3 out of 4 bombs that are found. And on every journey, never far from their thoughts, the memories of colleagues who haven't returned.